Tony Robbins is a figure of immense energy. His events are famous for their spectacle, drawing thousands into arenas filled with loud music, intense emotion, dramatic breakthroughs. People often leave feeling transformed, as if a lifetime of baggage has been lifted in a single weekend. But behind the powerful stage presence and the booming voice, there is a clear, repeatable system at work. This is not magic. It is a precise methodology designed to engineer rapid and lasting psychological change. This essay aims to pull back that curtain. The goal is not to simply describe what happens at these events, but to reveal the hidden mechanics so you can apply them in your own life, starting today. It is a practical system for personal evolution. This system is built on a fundamental understanding of human psychology. Robbins knows that most people operate on autopilot, guided by old stories and unconscious rules they adopted years ago. These internal narratives dictate their feelings, their decisions, and ultimately, the results they get in life. His true genius lies in his ability to spot these patterns with incredible speed. He then uses a sequence of targeted interventions to shatter the old disempowering model and install a new, more resourceful one. He is less of a motivational speaker and more of a psychological strategist. At the heart of the Robbins method are 5 core principles that work together like a well-oiled machine. Understanding this sequence is the key to unlocking the entire system. The first pillar is pattern detection. This is the diagnostic phase. Robbins is an expert at listening to a person's language, watching their physiology, and identifying the limiting belief or story that keeps them stuck. This pattern is often a simple, unconscious rule like, "I'm not good with money, I always procrastinate on important things." Recognizing the pattern is the first step toward dismantling it, because you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. The pattern is the true enemy, not the person. The second pillar is the state break, also known as a pattern interrupt. Once the disempowering pattern is identified, it must be broken. A pattern is just a neural pathway that fires automatically. To stop it, you must create a sudden, unexpected jolt to the system. The third pillar is installing a new, empowering state. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the human mind. After breaking the old state, it is crucial to immediately fill that space with a powerful, positive emotional state. This is not about simple positive thinking. It is about physiology. Robbins gets people to change their posture, their breathing, and their facial expressions to generate feelings of confidence, certainty, joy. By physically embodying the desired emotion, you make it real for your nervous system. You cannot feel powerful while slumped in a chair with shallow breathing. You must build the feeling from the body up, creating a new emotional home base. The final 2 pillars work to make the change permanent. The fourth is identity rebuilding. Here, the new empowering state is linked to a new empowering identity statement. The old rule is replaced with a new one, such as, "I am the kind of person who is a financial master. I am a disciplined person who executes with excellence." This new identity is framed as a non-negotiable standard. The 5th pillar, future pacing, locks it all in. This involves mentally rehearsing living as this new identity in various future scenarios. This creates neural pathways for the new behavior before it even happens, making it feel familiar and natural when the time comes to act. We will break down this complex process into simple, actionable components. The core of the method revolves around changing your identity, the fundamental story you tell yourself about who you are. To change that story, you must first change your emotional state, because identity is not an intellectual concept. It is a felt experience. You cannot think your way to a new life while feeling the old emotions of fear, doubt, or scarcity. Therefore, we will explore the tools for state management, pattern interruption, and identity reconstruction. Each step will be explained clearly, providing the why behind the technique and the how for its practical application in your daily existence. This essay is designed to be a user's manual for your own mind. It will move beyond theory and give you concrete practices you can implement immediately. We will cover how to design a morning routine that primes you for peak performance. We will outline a simple script you can use to coach yourself through a sticking point. We will even apply these principles to specific areas like your money mindset and your business rules. The aim is to demystify the process of change and give you the power to become the architect of your own character. Everything begins with awareness. Everything begins with awareness. You are living out a script every single day, but most of the time, you are not aware you are the one who wrote it. Finding your limiting pattern is like finding the one line in that script that holds the whole negative story together. This pattern is a combination of a belief, an emotion, a behavior that repeats itself. For example, a person might believe, "I'm not smart enough to start a business." This belief triggers a feeling of fear or inadequacy. That feeling then leads to the behavior of procrastination or avoiding opportunities. This loop runs automatically, creating the same result over and over again. Your first task is to become a detective of your own mind. To find your pattern, you must pay close attention to your language. Your words are the most direct expression of your internal rules. For the next 24 hours, carry a small notebook or use an app on your phone. Your only job is to listen for and write down definitive statements you make about yourself, especially when you feel stressed or stuck. Listen for phrases that start with I am not. For instance, I am just not a morning person. Also, listen for absolute words like always, never, can't. A phrase like I can never seem to get ahead with my finances is a powerful indicator of a core limiting belief. These are not just descriptions, they are commands you are giving your brain. Once you have a list of these statements, the next step is to question their payoff. No behavior, even a self-destructive one, exists without some kind of perceived benefit. This is a crucial insight. Your procrastination might protect you from the fear of failure. Your story about being bad with money might give you an excuse not to take on the responsibility of managing it. Ask yourself this simple but profound question for each statement you wrote down. What do I get from this belief? Be brutally honest. Do you get to be right? Do you get sympathy from others? Do you get to avoid discomfort or risk? Identifying the hidden payoff demystifies the behavior and reduces its power over you. For your practice today, choose just one recurring negative thought or feeling you experience. It could be anxiety about a project, frustration in a relationship, or a sense of being overwhelmed. Now sit down and write out the story you tell yourself in that moment. What are the exact words that run through your head? Then, answer this question in writing. What is the secret benefit I get from believing this story and feeling this way? For example, the benefit of feeling overwhelmed might be that you get to avoid making a difficult decision. This single act of honest inquiry is the first domino. It brings the unconscious pattern into the light, where it can finally be changed. A limiting pattern is like being in a trance. Your brain is running a familiar program, and your body is locked into a corresponding emotional state. To change the program, you must first break the trance. This is the purpose of a state break, or pattern interrupt. It is a deliberate action designed to shock your nervous system out of its habitual loop. Think of it like scratching a record. The sudden jolt prevents the needle from playing the same old song. In that moment of interruption, your mind is momentarily blank, open, and ready for a new direction. It is a neurological reset button. The power of a state break comes from its unexpectedness. Your brain is a prediction machine. It thrives on knowing what comes next. When you do something completely out of the ordinary, it forces the brain to stop and pay attention. Tony Robbins does this on a grand scale with loud noises, cold plunges, absurd questions that make no logical sense in the context of a person's problem. But you do not need a massive production to achieve the same effect. The key is to use a sharp, physiological jolt. The interruption must be physical, not just mental. Trying to think your way out of a bad state rarely works, because the state itself is what's controlling your thoughts. You can create a personal arsenal of state-breaking tools that are simple and immediately accessible. For example, you can snap a rubber band on your wrist. You can clap your hands loudly and shout, "Next." You could splash cold water on your face. You could suddenly drop to the floor and do 5 push-ups. Or you could put on a ridiculously upbeat song and dance wildly for 60 seconds. The specific action does not matter as much as its ability to be sudden, physical, and completely different from the state you are currently in. It should feel a little strange or even silly. That feeling of absurdity is a sign that it is working. Here is a simple state break practice you can use today. The next time you catch yourself spiraling into a negative thought pattern, worry, self-criticism, or frustration, perform this exact sequence immediately. First, stand up straight. Second, take a deep, sharp breath in through your nose and then exhale forcefully through your mouth with a ha sound. Third, clap your hands together loudly 1 time. And fourth, force a huge goofy smile onto your face for 10 seconds. It will feel unnatural, but this combination of breath, sound, movement, and facial expression is a powerful pattern interrupt. It sends a cascade of new signals to your brain, effectively short-circuiting the old emotional program. After you have broken the old, disempowering state, you have a critical window of opportunity. Your mind is open and receptive. This is the moment to intentionally install a new, powerful emotional state. This is not about faking it. It is about generating a genuine physiological and emotional shift. Identity is anchored in emotion. To become a confident person, you must consistently access the feeling of confidence. To become a determined person, you must know what determination feels like in your body. This new feeling becomes your new emotional home, the default state you return to. The fastest way to change your emotional state is to radically change your physiology. Emotion is created by motion. Think about what a depressed person looks like. Slumped shoulders, shallow breathing, downcast eyes, slow movements. Now picture a person who is ecstatic and victorious. Chest open, head held high, deep breathing, energetic movements. Your body is a direct lever to your emotions. To feel powerful, you must adopt the physiology of power. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back, lift your chin, and breathe deeply into your belly. This simple physical adjustment sends a direct message to your brain that you are in a state of command. Along with physiology, you must also control your focus and your language. What you focus on, you feel. If you focus on what you lack, you will feel scarcity. If you focus on what you can control, you will feel capable. After adjusting your body, you must consciously direct your mind towards something that fuels your desired state. Ask yourself an empowering question, such as, what am I proud of in my life right now? What is one thing I can do to move forward? Simultaneously, use powerful language. Instead of thinking, I hope this works, say out loud, I will make this work. The words you use become the commands that shape your emotional reality. Here is a practice to install a new state, which you can do right now. It is called a power move. First, decide on an empowering emotion you want to feel more often, like certainty, courage. Now stand up and create a physical gesture that represents that feeling for you. It could be raising your fist to the sky like a champion or placing a hand firmly over your heart. As you make this gesture, say a single powerful word or phrase out loud like, yes, or I've got this. Changing your state is temporary. Changing your identity is permanent. The ultimate goal of this entire process is to forge a new identity. Your identity is simply the story you believe about yourself. It is a collection of beliefs and rules that define who you are and what you are capable of. If your identity is, I am someone who struggles with weight, you will unconsciously make choices that align with that story. The most profound shift occurs when you consciously decide to write a new story and live by a new set of rules. This is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about deciding who you are going to be. The process begins by exposing the old identity rules as nothing more than outdated beliefs. A belief is just a thought you have kept thinking. Your old rule might be, I am not the kind of person who can speak in public. Tony Robbins would challenge this directly by asking, says who? What ridiculous ancient experience led you to make a decision like that? This reframing helps you see the rule not as an absolute truth, but as a flimsy, outdated choice you made long ago. You can then make a new choice. You get to decide that the old rule is no longer acceptable. The standard has to be raised. With the old rule invalidated, you must install a new one. This new identity statement must be simple, positive, absolute. It should begin with the words, "I am the kind of person who..." This is far more powerful than saying, "I will try to..." For example, instead of "I will try to save more money," the new identity statement is, "I am the kind of person who pays myself first." Instead of "I should exercise more," it becomes, "I am an athlete who trains my body consistently." This is not a goal, it is a statement of being. It is a declaration of your new standard. This new rule becomes the filter through which you make all future decisions. Here is your practice for today. Take out a piece of paper. At the top, write down one area of your life where you want to see a dramatic improvement. For example, health, finances, relationships. Below that, write down the old limiting identity statement that has been running the show. For example, "I am someone who always puts things off until the last minute." Now, cross it out forcefully. Below that, write your new identity blueprint. Craft a single, powerful sentence starting with, "I am the kind of person who..." For example, "I am the kind of person who takes immediate, decisive action on my priorities." Read this new statement aloud with conviction. This is your new law. Locking it in. Future pacing for lasting change. A new identity is fragile at first. It needs to be strengthened and reinforced until it becomes automatic. This is the purpose of future pacing. It's a mental rehearsal technique. Vividly imagine yourself living your new identity in future situations. By repeatedly running these mental simulations, you build and myelinate the neural pathways for new behaviors. Your brain begins to treat the new identity as a familiar reality. When you face the real-life situation, your brain already has a preloaded script for how to act. That makes the new choice feel more natural and less effortful. The process is simple, but requires focused imagination. After establishing your identity statement, you need to test it. Close your eyes and imagine a specific upcoming event where your old pattern would show up. For example, your new identity. "I am a healthy person who makes nourishing food choices." Imagine you're at a party surrounded by junk food. See the scene through your own eyes. Feel the temptation. Vividly imagine yourself making the aligned choice, reaching for the vegetable platter, or drinking a glass of water instead. As you rehearse, engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Feel pride and integrity as you act in line with your new standard. Feel the quiet confidence of being in control. Associating positive emotion creates a powerful incentive for your brain. You can also future-pace challenging scenarios. Imagine someone questioning your new behavior. Rehearse your calm, confident response. This helps you anticipate obstacles and become more resilient under pressure. Here is your future pacing exercise for today. Take the new identity statement you created in the previous section. Now, think of one specific time in the next 24 hours to act on it. It could be at work, it could be at home, it could be at the gym. Close your eyes for 3 minutes. In your mind, step into that future moment. See yourself at the choice point. Watch yourself make the decision aligned with your new identity. See it clearly. Feel the positive emotion tied to that choice. Replay this mental movie 3 times. You are pre-paving the road to your success. Just picture it. Your feet walking on a path that is being drawn just ahead of them, symbolizing creating the future. The ritual engine: daily routines for unconscious competence. An identity is not built in a single moment of decision. It is forged through the fire of daily repetition. Your rituals and routines are the machinery that transforms a conscious choice into an unconscious competence. They are the daily proof you offer your brain that your new identity is real. Tony Robbins emphasizes that what you do consistently is far more important than what you do occasionally. He teaches people to install specific daily rituals that automatically condition their mind and body for success. These routines stack small wins, and over time, these small wins build an unshakable belief in your new self. The most famous of these is the morning priming ritual. How you start your day sets the trajectory for everything that follows. Instead of waking up and reacting to the world by checking email or social media, priming is a proactive process to create your desired emotional state from the moment you wake up. A simplified version involves 3 parts. First, a breathing exercise to oxygenate your body and change your physiology. Second, a gratitude practice. Focus on 3 things you are truly grateful for. Third, focus on outcomes. Visualize the 3 most important things you want to achieve that day as if already done. Beyond the morning, install small rituals throughout your day to reinforce your identity. This is about creating evidence. If your new identity is, I am a disciplined writer, your ritual might be to write for 15 minutes every single day, no matter what. That daily act is a vote for your new identity. The goal is not to write a masterpiece each day, but simply to show up and perform the ritual. This practice of evidence stacking is incredibly powerful. At the end of each week, you will have a tangible record of 7 times you acted as your new self. This evidence becomes undeniable proof that silences the old, doubtful voice in your head. Your practice today is to design and commit to one simple daily ritual that supports your new identity. Make it so small that you cannot say no. If your identity is, I am a financially responsible person, your ritual could be to take 2 minutes each day to check your bank balance. If your identity is, I am someone who values learning, your ritual could be to read 2 pages of a nonfiction book. The key is consistency, not intensity. Write down your chosen ritual and the exact time you will perform it. For example, every day at 9 a.m., I will spend 5 minutes tidying my workspace. This small, repeated action is how you build the foundation of a new life. The money mindset switch from scarcity to abundance. For many people, money is one of the most emotionally charged areas of life. Their financial results reflect identity and beliefs around wealth. Tony Robbins. Financial struggle is rarely a resource problem. It's a psychology problem. People operate from a mindset of scarcity. Money is limited hard to get a source of stress. They are programmed to be consumers, not owners. Switch identity from scarcity consumption to abundance responsibility ownership. Change the meaning you associate with money. If money means stress, you'll avoid or mismanage it. If it means freedom, contribution, opportunity, Robbins reframes wealth as a tool for impact. Building wealth as a noble duty lets you provide for family, solve bigger problems, contribute to causes. This shifts emotional drive from fear-greed to purpose service. Adopt the identity of an investor, not just a spender or a saver. A consumer thinks, how much can I spend? A saver thinks, how much can I put away? An investor thinks, how can I put my money to work? Identity shift leads to new behaviors. Robbins. Simple, automated investment systems. He demystifies finance. Focus on asset allocation, compound growth, not risky short-term speculation. Make wealth creation automatic, not a struggle. Practice. Perform a money mindset switch. Step 1. Identify a limiting belief, e.g., I'm just not good with money. Write it down and cross it out. Create a new identity statement. I am a smart and capable financial manager who is constantly learning. Step 2. Take one aligned action. Download a budgeting app. Read one article about index funds. Set up an automatic $5 transfer to savings. That small act declares to your brain you're in control of your financial destiny. Your 7-day blueprint. A simple plan for immediate action. Theory is interesting, but action is what creates results. Real change comes from applying these principles in a structured way. To conclude, here is a simple, 4-part life plan you can implement this week. Vision, standards, rituals, actions. This blueprint distills core concepts into a compact, actionable framework. Do not just read it. Do it. This is your chance to move from a student of personal development to being a practitioner. This is how you start building a new life. One deliberate step at a time. First, define your vision. This is the emotional why that will pull you forward. It should not be a dry, logical goal. It should be an inspiring picture of the life you want to create. Take 15 minutes and write a single bold paragraph that describes this vision. Make it exciting. For example, my vision is to live with boundless physical energy and mental clarity, operating my business with a sense of calm power, using my success to create incredible experiences for my family, and contributing generously to my community. Read this vision every single morning. Second, set your standards. Your standards are the non-negotiable rules that define your new identity. They are the lines you will not cross. Based on your vision, name 3 simple, absolute standards for your behavior. These are your new laws. 1. I do not hit the snooze button. 2. I move my body for at least 30 minutes every day. 3. I save 10% of every dollar that comes into my life, no exceptions. Write these standards down. Post them where you will see them daily, on your bathroom mirror, or on your computer monitor. These rules simplify your decisions. Third, install your rituals. Rituals are the automated habits that ensure you live by your standards. Choose 3 daily rituals that will build momentum. 1 for your morning, 1 for your work, and 1 for your evening. Example: morning priming, 5 minutes of breath work, gratitude, and outcome focus. Example: deep work. Block the first 60 minutes of your workday focused on one important task. No distractions. Example: nightly review. 2 minutes before sleep to write 1 win and plan tomorrow's top priority. These rituals are the engine of your transformation. Start this week. Finally, choose your action. Vision, standards, and rituals create the foundation, but you still need to take massive action on projects that move the needle. Identify the 1 to 3 most important projects that would bring you closest to your vision. Break the very first step of each project down into a simple task you can complete this week. For example, project: launch my new website. First action: call 3 web designers for quotes. Taking consistent, focused action on the right projects is how your vision becomes reality. This 4-part plan: vision, standards, rituals, action, is your blueprint for building an extraordinary life. Begin today.